Hello there, thank you for clicking on this channel, Daughter of Africa, where we are all about Africa and Africa is our business. I am Sharon Baranga, and this week's episode we are going to talk to some of young people from the African continent, and they're going to tell us how they feel COVID-19 has changed Africa or the continent. Stay tuned.
My name is Antonio Sol. I am a musician and also a TV and radio personality right here at Nation Media Group. And for me, the way that COVID-19 has completely changed how we consume the media. For example, now we cannot have guests on my show, on my radio show, even if they have new songs, which means we have to do a lot of phone interviews. So that human interaction is no longer there. You actually can't really know if you're asking a celebrity about a story if they're telling the truth or the lie or a lie, because a lot of times body language tells, and looking at someone, and even the voice changes. And so I feel like in terms of narrative wise, a lot of people now are able to drive the narrative, but there's a lot of loopholes. We don't really feel that human interaction. And I think for me, the biggest way is that in African society we nurture and we grow our kids, and how kids grow is by touch. That's very important. They feel the love and the touch of, their family members. I'm an uncle, I have a nephew, I have a niece. I mean, how will they know that I love them if I can't hold them? It's literally unprecedented. And I think also that exposure to a lot of mainstream information, even what's happening in the States, for example, I think it's led a lot of Kenyans, the common man, to actually really know that a lot of stuff happens all over the world. For example, the George Floyd murder, and when you come home to in Kenya and you're talking about police brutality, you find that a lot of our listeners now and our viewers, they want us to talk more about issues that affect them, because being at home and not having food and not having the right systems, not being able to go to work, it exposes you to really the real truth and what really happens out there. So now that kind of stuff has become very important for them, because people are pissed off. If I'm not going to die of corona, why should I die in the hands of a police officer? So there's stuff like that. And I also think even now as a musician, for myself, you really have to think about how you want your fans to consume your music. Because, my friend, it's no longer, guys, I have a link, check the link in my bio. You have to come up with content, teasers, all those things have to come into play, and see how you can be able to have your fans consume your content on YouTube, on IG Live, and all those things. It's completely metamorphosized how we consume music, information, and love. Yeah, and then I have to walk like this the whole time. Even Sharonbaranga couldn't hold the phone for me. I had to do it on my own, because this is the new life.
Hi, I'm Olive Barrows. So Sharon wants to know how COVID-19 has changed Africa or Africans in general. I don't think it's an Africa-specific question, because COVID-19 has impacted pretty much everyone across the globe. Doesn't matter whether you come from the developed world or the developing world. Now, how I think it has affected us, it's made us appreciate more the social activities we undertake with our friends, our families, our loved ones, going to the movie theater, sharing in laughs with everybody across the theater, going into a restaurant and sitting around a table with your family and your friends. So yeah, I think it's made us have time to sit back and reflect on the things that we really value and hold dear, even in protecting the elderly, appreciating what value they've added to our lives. So I think as much as it's had a negative impact in terms of the economy, I think in terms of our personal, emotional growth, it's allowed us the time to take out and think about the things that are important.
Hi, my name is Helen. I think COVID-19 has affected the African continent greatly. As Africans, we are a knitted. We believe in family. We are very knitted, and we believe in community. So the fact that many people cannot be able to meet socially, to celebrate together, to laugh together, to even cry together and comfort each other, those who've lost their loved ones, that has greatly affected how many people normally even deal with such a situation. On the other end, also it's affected, we're great believers in church and in God, because I believe many Africans are Christians or Muslims, religious in their own one way or another. So I believe the fact that there's no church, no communion in church, no communion in the mosques at this particular time, it's also affected many people. As much as people are being encouraged to pray at home and just pray from wherever they are, because church is not the building, church is the people. But still, there's always that aspect when you go to church or when you go to the mosque to commune with other people. It just makes you feel a certain type of way. It makes you feel better and in tune, you know, where two or three are gathered. You know what I'm saying? The other thing also, economically, I feel like the African economy has dipped. Let me bring it closer to home in Kenya. We've seen many people who have lost their jobs due to this pandemic, and many people have been given salary cuts or have been laid off or just been given indefinite leaves, you know. And some of these things are making you realize that even the slight opportunity that you have, you shouldn't take it for granted. And we've even seen artists who used to depend on the entertainment industry, and right now, because of social distancing, the entertainment industry has really dipped, and majority of those artists are really struggling also to try and make ends meet. So on the other end, I feel like also the social distancing has also brought families closer. Those who live in one home, you know, like nuclear families type of situation, you can find instances where there's rekindled love. If the parents were never there for their children, there's now attention for the children, there's rekindled love. But it's also quite unfortunate to see that there's also a rise in cases of domestic violence in the families, and this is actually one thing which is very saddening. And also cases of sexual abuse when it comes to young girls also at home with their be it their fathers or their uncles. It's quite unfortunate as well. Bye.